Happy day. Today we are going to see about the topic promotions in marketing management. So promotion basically means the process of persuading the consumers so that you make them buy a particular product or a service. Under promotions, we are mainly going to concentrate on the promotional objectives, promotional strategies, and the promotional mix. So this is the communication process. Like any other communication process, we have an encoder, a sender, a receiver, decoding process, and the media which transmits the message from the sender to the receiver. So when we say sender, it is the advertiser here. When we say encoding, it is the advertisement copy. And then the media we can choose can be a broadcast media or a print media. And then on the receiving side, we have the consumers who will be taking up the desiring action. And we also have the entire feedback process going out through the mechanism. So this is how the communication process happens in the marketing management. Then we have something called as the ADA formula, where A stands for attention, I stands for interest, D stands for desire, and A stands for action. So the basic idea or the basic motto behind the entire promotion concept is to first catch the attention of the consumers. And this attention, when they are showing, that has to be converted into the interest, and the interest in turn has to be converted into a desire, and finally all this has to be converted into the action, which is the action of promoting the product, making them buy the product or the service. So this is where the entire process of promotion ends once they purchase the product. And then what are the objectives of promotion? Why do we have to go for promotion? The basic idea behind promotion is to make the consumers aware of the product, give them all the information that is required about the product based on the quality, their price, the uniqueness and all that. And this promotion is also helping up to push up the sales, and it also explains about the unique selling points about the products or the services. So this is the basic objective of any promotional activity. And then under the promotional strategies, we have two types of strategies. One is the push strategy and the other one is called as the pull strategy. Under the push strategy, it is basically pushing the products through the channel where it is the wholesaler or it is the manufacturer who's actually putting in the promotional efforts to make all the wholesalers, retailers and distributors to promote their products. And we have several mechanisms through which we are going to achieve this push strategy, and some of them are point of sales, point of purchase and in-store promotions. And next we move on to something called as the pull strategy. Here it's just the opposite of the push strategy, where we are creating a demand and making the consumer to come in search of the product. So it becomes very obvious for the retailers in order to stock up these products as it is in high demand and it is being wanted by the end consumers. Next we move on to something called as the elements of the promotional mix, where the elements of the promotional mix include something called as the advertising, the sales promotion, the publicity and all these. So there are basically 5 elements and we are going to see each one of them in detail. So the first one is the advertising, something which is very common that we all come across in our day-to-day lives. So the basic objective of the advertising is to reach a large or huge mass of people in a very short period of time. And this is going to create an awareness that such a product is there, a new product has come up in the market or some changes has been made to the existing product. So what kind of media they are going to choose in order to advertise the product depends upon their target customers and the product and the budgetary constraints that they are having. So the basic idea behind this advertising is to inform, it is to persuade them, and it is to keep reminding them until they go and purchase their products. So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of advertisements? Advantages can be, it is going to explain everything about the product, right from the quality, the price, the uniqueness, how it is different from the competitors, what are their utilities, what are their needs. And then it also helps to reduce the burden of the salesman because they don't have that much to explain to them because it's already being made aware to all the consumers through these sort of advertisements. And it is also going to create a lot of employment opportunities and have an additional budget that is being allocated to it. And some of the disadvantage of advertising could be sometimes it involves quite a lot of cost, and it also creates needs that are really not needs but they are just desires. And then the next one, the next promotional mix is going to be personal selling. This is one of the oldest methods but it's still being followed because it's being very effective. So here people just go meet out people. It can be like happening door to door, go give demonstrations, explain about the product, the utilities, and then make them buy the products. So here two things are very important. One is how creative the salesman is and how effective is he in communicating the utilities of the product. So these two things are very important when it comes to personal selling. And advantages of personal selling, this is basically like it helps them to decide on whether they need the product or they don't need the product. They can also be totally unaware of the product, but because of personal selling, when people go and explain to them, they get that awareness about the product, even if it is really not their need or they are really not interested in buying the product, they get an awareness. So this creates a lot of demand for a product, and again it's a very effective method, and that is why even now it's being followed by many of the companies. The next strategy is going to be publicity. Here in publicity, it's basically like you're publicizing about your product or your service or your company. So you're conveying what kind of goodwill or what kind of reputation you have among the public. So this can be done even with a simple image that has a caption, or it can be done through something called as the press release or news articles and all that. So these are some of the methods in which you can publicize your products or services, and it is of high credential, but again like you don't have much control when it goes on to the hands of the public. The next one is the public relation. So we have all the producers, consumers, wholesalers, retailers on one end, and the end consumers on the other side. So who's going to bridge the gap between these two? It is actually the public relations. People in the public relations who are going to bridge the gap. They are going to understand or evaluate the attitude of the public, the changing preferences, the taste and all that, and they are going to come back to the company and make the required changes so that they always meet the needs of the end consumers. And the last one is going to be the sales promotion, and whatever methods that are used to evaluate or to help out all the other elements of the promotional mix is going to go into the sales promotion. And sales promotion can be done in quite a lot of ways, like by giving offers, discounts, giving some products for free trial and all that. So they can also have some games or contests in order to promote their products. This is what happens under sales promotion, and these are the 5 elements of the promotional mix. Thank you.